Right then, the Chronicles of Narnia. I haven't watched this movie before, but for what I'm seeing now, it's pretty good. Here we are, big open army, ready to charge. That is a big open field, which is very good for charging, so they've chosen their location pretty well.
They come, Your Highness, in numbers and weapons far greater than our own.
If that's the case, then you might want to reconsider actually charging at them. So see this formation you have here, rather than charging out, what I would prefer is if you stayed in it like so and bring your archers to the front, so when the enemy does charge at you, you can fire arrows back at them and it'll be quite effective in bogging them down. It's kind of like what the English did at Cressy and Agincourt and basically everywhere in the 100 Years' War. No, it's a Minotaur. That's a bit odd. Anyway, Minotaurs, well, as you might tell, are quite strong, and if you take a look at the axe here, it's got quite a large head in it, and it's asymmetrical somewhat. See, one blade flipped up, one blade flipped down, and you get to see the rest of the army here, and it must stink if there's a lot of Minotaurs, because as you know, cows smell quite. What are those three giant stooges doing there? No armor with some, looks like farming tools. They're gonna die really quickly. And here we have a big, scary metal cabbage. Not really necessary. Who could it be? Could be a furry. I wouldn't be surprised because these are all animals. Well, no, it's the witch. What kind of headdress is that? Quite odd. Anyway, here's his little army, looking very intimidating. Why are these two lines so far away from each other, one on the floor, one on the cliff? If they need to communicate, they're going to have a very difficult time shouting over each other. Kill those fucking furries! Wow, the king is so charismatic, all he needs to do is raise his sword and his men will cheer out loudly for him.
I have no interest in prisoners. Kill them all.
Are you sure about that? A king's ransom can be worth quite a lot. When Richard Lionheart got captured, his ransom was 2,500 kg of silver, or $17 million. That's quite a lot of money. You could buy some new eyebrows with that. And now they're charging out of formation. And I know these are animals, but considering that they've presumably forged all these weapons, I think they'd know about basic formations. Yeah, it's not going to end well for them against cavalry. Say goodbye to those new eyebrows. But birds, what are they going to do next to the Minotaur? As if nobody else could see them before. If you didn't tell them, nobody would have noticed them. Oh, so they're dropping rocks in them. That's quite effective. But I'm sure if they had like multiple smaller pebbles, that have a much more devastating penetrative effect. As you can see, many of them are being killed. If only they could, I don't know, fly higher. Hang on a minute, let's have a look at his kit. So here we can see he's wearing a mail coif, which is very good, don't get me wrong, but against a lance from horseback, it could be possible that the links could be busted and the lance would be able to go through the back of his neck. You're really going to want something like this, the bever. It goes from the top of your chest all the way over your mouth and covers the front of your entire neck. And unlike chainmail, it's one solid piece of steel, so if a lance comes in, it'll be able to bounce. Also, was that your whole speech? I mean, you're going into a battle where you're outnumbered, so you're going to want to consider morale. So you might want to have a bit more sophisticated speech. Listen to this speech from a game that's older than I am. I think you'll enjoy it.
Saint-Denis preserve us. I have seldom seen a more dispiriting sight than the English army. They have no sense of style, no élan, no manly virtues, no reason to live, no decent food, no attractive womenfolk. And their leaders, oh why, the devil himself would be shamed to have them in hell.
Now if that's not charismatic, I don't know what is. So now they're charging at full speed. They're going to be knackered when they get to the enemy line. I'm sure these are fantasy peoples, but I'm sure they have lungs and they abide by laws of physics. Now what is this line at the back doing? Why are they just waiting there? If you're outnumbering your enemy, by splitting your force up, you're going to remove that advantage. If they're going to charge like so, all they need to do is flank from the side, and the battle will be won. Is it too much for the Disney kids to comprehend? Hold on, that is a hill, good at hiding things. Now, if they take that original formation that I was talking about earlier, and they also hide the cavalry behind the hill on the left, so if the unorganised furry army attacks, all the cavalry need to do is get in formation and charge all the way to the right. This will completely annihilate them because, as I said, they're unorganised and the battle will be won just like that. But as I said before, probably too much for the Disney kids to comprehend. Right, they're continuing to charge. And the furry army is also charging. Unorganised, you really want to get in formation when you're facing cavalry. Right, steadying the lances, very good to see that. And you're really going to want to lance. And why have you got 2 swords for? Swords are cool, I guess. If you had 2 lances, you'd be able to get 2 kills consecutively. And you could still carry your swords with you. Just a bit stupid, really. If this was a real cavalry charge, all those big cats would get immediately trampled over. Because under the weight of all those horses and those minotaurs, they just get pancaked into a bloody mush. That sword is way too thick to be wieldy, but it was a minotaur at the end of the day. If he would have just had a lance, he would have been able to kill that minotaur and survived. Swords are cool, I guess. Yeah, take that to the grave.